All right. All right. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Good evening. We're back. We continue. Once again. Soldiering on. Into the dark night. Into the twisted ruins. Rife with danger and peril. But also riches and intrigue. Perhaps we shall uncover some mystical gems. Maybe an assortment of trinkets. Or a tome of power. If we could possibly be so lucky. But I don't know. I'm tired. I went a bit hard last night. I went maybe a little bit harder than I should have. But I simply could not help myself. It was draining. It was very draining, but I knew what I was getting into. I knew what I was doing. Kind of. I at least couldn't stop myself. But we're back. I think we might be entering kind of like we might be kind of entering like a waveform, like a waveform style now, where we're gonna go up and then down and then up and then down and then up and then I think every other stream we're gonna flip back and forth between lower and higher vibrational frequencies. If I had to guess, I'm currently on a relatively low vibrational frequency. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. We'll at least make some amount of progress tonight. That is some good tea, though. I debated as to whether or not I wanted a cup of tea, and I was like, you know what? I'll go for it. And I'd say it was the right decision. I'd say it was the correct thing to do. Anyway. Ooh, that's loud in my ears. It might be loud in your ears too. Hold on. Oh. How do I do this again? I blacked out for a second. There we go. We do this. These are the things that we do. Anyway. Hi, hello. How's everybody doing? What's going on? What up, Stone? What up, Grinner? I don't know if I'm worried about it. I think I'm past the point of worrying about it at this point. I mean, I guess I'll probably always be I'm always a little worried about everything all the time, but you know, that's like, I'm not above a baseline level of worry, I guess. This worry is not statistically significant, I would say. I'm just proud of myself that I managed to get out statistically significant. You played Anthology of the Killer last night? The whole thing? I guess it's not that long. I mean, I played it while I was streaming, and I definitely took many asides to just yammer. To just ramble on about nonsense. All 9 games plus the bonus haul? Damn. How long did that take? If you don't mind me asking. I don't actually really have a good gauge of how long it would take to do that. Because like I said, I did a very meandering playthrough. 5.5 hours? Okay. That's not too bad then. I did quite like the bonus haul. I really enjoyed the bonus haul at the end. That was very fun. What were your thoughts? Did you enjoy your experience with the killer? Do you have any standout opinions or feelings or thoughts about it? You loved it? Damn. That's good to hear. I mean, I love it too. I just don't know. It's a very particular sort of game, I feel like, so it's hard for me to gauge whether or not other people will enjoy it. Easy top 10? Whoa. I don't know if I'd go that far. I might. I don't know. I don't really, like I've said, I don't really like to play favorites. So, I don't really think about, like, what would be in my top 10. So I actually guess I can't really say that with any kind of certainty. It might be that high up there. I don't actually know. I'd have to really think about it. And again, I'd probably have to play it again. Less ordered than many? I see. Okay. I was about to say, it's not really, it's just like a general, it's not like a tier list. It's not really thought about like, put in the specific order. That's the better way to do it. I definitely don't think I could do that. Yeah, top 10 is a rhetorical device, a thought experiment, if you will. Well, I think that it's looking like it's lining up that probably next weekend will be finished. With the pace that we're going at right now, we're just shy of halfway. We're 100,000 shy of halfway. So if we continue at this pace, we do have a couple detours to go on, but they shouldn't be that extensive. Besides the one that will probably eat up an entire stream. But besides that, it's looking like we'll probably be able to finish it next weekend, which I'm glad. I am happy that it will line up to finish when I would normally be streaming. It will line up to finish when I would normally be streaming, so that's super epic, actually. But yeah, what was I gonna say? If you really liked, what's the guy's website? Harmony Zone. If you really like the Anthology of the Killer, I would highly recommend checking out. Oh, I have it in my whatchamacallit. Actually, there's two that I really like. The guy who made them, his website is called Harmony Zone, but he has a bunch of stuff on there. And he has, this is called Autopsy Pile, and it's like it's just a bunch of stuff he wrote about the games and his overall thoughts on the whole thing, which I thought was a very interesting read. It definitely helped me understand what they were going for a bit more. Oh yeah, I remember the shirts. That's right. That was a merch idea that I wanted to steal. We need to make future victim shirts. We need to make future murder victim shirts. I can't remember exactly what it said. I can't remember if it was future murder victim or future victim, but that was it. I remember that now. That was one of the shirts in the gift shop. It was Future Murder Victim. Okay, I do remember that being a standout. What up, Masked Man? PK Clism? Is that like psychokinetic cataclysm? Is that what a PK Clism is? Or a Paclism? Or is it Masked Man Caclism? You're gonna have to elucidate me on how to pronounce your username. But yes, Future Murder Victim. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. Or I guess I remembered. I didn't forget. I remembered. Ba ba ba. Donate here. It's mainly a bunch of suffixes. I see. Manually unpinned or end of stream. Hide for myself. There we go. What was I gonna say? Probably something Anthology of the Kill. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's got a very unique. I don't know. I like the tone of the series overall. It's very fun and unique. The idea of murder and murderers as just like this sort of like weird force that exists in the universe is a very interesting idea. Yes, I also really liked the killer as a thing. I like how it's like he's like never, or it's like never really even explained. It also is just kind of like, it's like legitimately scary as an entity, because they reveal so little about it, and it remains mysterious and creepy throughout. It's like the killer, for as goofy and silly as those games are, the killer with a capital K is like legitimately scarier than like most other like slasher or like horror villains. Purely from how little you actually see it and what it can do. Also the fact that it like in sort of like a power scaling sense, I guess, it is in a world where like murderers are like a significant chunk of the population and it's like the best murderer, like, you know, in sort of like a DBZ power level sense too. It's kind of scary. Ow. Yeah, maybe we can include the Future Murder Victim shirt in the eventual merch collection. That would be fun. No, it's okay. I can understand. I get it. I totally understand. What was I gonna say? But now you can appreciate the soundtrack more. Now you too can get the reference. Oh no. Did it happen again? Don't tell me it happened again. That can only mean one thing. Oh, okay. That's probably fine though. That's probably better. That's probably better. I think we're overdue for a good pout. I think we're way overdue for a good pouting. It's been a long time since we had one of those, I think. I think it could be I think that would be a nice change of pace. I think it would be refreshing. As long as it's not the flustered one, as long as it's not F, I'm okay. As long as it's not that, I'm fine. I'm not too worried. I don't think it foretells doom. I don't know. I think the pout has a more playful tone. In my conception of it, I think it's more playful than anything else. I don't have an emote, I feel like, that represents, like, legitimate rage. Or, like, legitimate anger. I feel like I don't get actually pissed off very often. I feel like I don't actually get, like angry very often. Ooh, that's very unfortunate. I can't do no sugar or low sugar or whatever when it comes to sodas. I really hate the taste of whatchamacallit. I really hate the taste of artificial sweeteners. I can't, like, eat or drink anything that has that in it. Any of them, really. I know there's, like, a few, but they all taste basically the same to me. And I do not like them. I do not like them in my tummy. They make me go, oh. They make me go, bleh. And I stick my tongue out and I pout. I cross my arms and I go, bleh. Anyway, I guess I should explain what I'm doing, huh? We're playing We Love Katamari, and I'm, whatchamacallit, rolling up roses in the game. There's a special mission in the game where you have to roll up 1 million roses, and I'm rolling up 1 million roses. And I'm collecting donations for charity while I do that. I guess when I notice a first time chat in the chat, I should probably, like, I should use that as an opportunity to, like, explain what's happening. How long ago was that? Not that long ago. Okay, I thought, for some reason I was imagining that was, like, fucking an hour ago, but it just happened. Okay, that's not so bad. Still way too slow on the draw there, but not as bad as I would have expected. I gotta remember to do that. I'm not so good at that kind of thing. I almost got one of when last time I was at the grocery store, I almost got one of those whatchamacallit. I almost got the monster, the bad apple monster, just to say that I got it. It's like the monster juice, which I don't know what that is. I've never tried one of those before, and it seems like it would be horrible, so I didn't end up getting it. I don't know, maybe I'll resurrect the snack closet, and we can do that, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, the Game Awards are on. I was gonna do like a thing. I was gonna do some shit on the stream, and I was gonna put it like in a really tiny picture-in-picture, like in the corner, and like have it on mute in the background, just as like, I don't know, just to, like, see what was going on. I don't want to do that even as a joke. I really just don't care. I really don't even want to do that as a joke. I don't want to put myself through that. I did turn it on briefly before when I was doing something else, and I had it on mute in the background. And every single time I looked over at the screen, I was like, wow, I sure am glad I can't hear this right now. Every single time I looked over, I was like, damn, I really am happy that I'm not listening to this right now. I haven't had a milk dud in a long time. I do like me some milk duds, though. Those are definitely up there as far as candies are concerned. I did recently try to eat candy and drink soda. I did that on stream, I think. I tried to eat candy and drink soda at the same time, and I literally couldn't do it. I think I'm too old for that now. I don't know exactly what it is. I feel like in these past few months, I've aged a lot. I'm like really feeling it now all of a sudden, at least in terms of like my, I don't know, my internal organs are like, you gotta relax. You gotta relax, buddy. You gotta calm down. That's one of them. I don't think I can do that anymore. Despite loving sugar, I can't handle it. I wonder how long your lifestyle will last. I don't know. I think I have a pretty decently healthy lifestyle overall. But I think it's time to start making a few changes. I think it might be time to start making a few changes. Let's listen to this. We'll start out with something a little more relaxing. It's gonna be probably another calm one. Calm with a capital L, you know? I really wish, I don't know, there's probably a better way to do all this with the stream setup and things like that, but I don't know what it is. Hello, are you not working? No, there we go. There we go. I think that's probably fine. Whatever. None of the windows are actually lined up right. It's fine. Everything's fine. Oh right. That's right, we gotta do this now. I wonder if it's hard. I wonder if the game is like hard coded to always start on this stage for the rose dimension. Have we ever started with a different, like at the beginning of a stream when I first booted up the game, have we ever started somewhere that's not the town? I don't remember. I don't think so. That's either like insane luck or it's just coded that way where you always start here. I don't know. Nani? What does this lady say? Have we ever bumped into this lady? Oh, she makes a... Oh. Please don't make that noise at me, lady. What does the old lady say? Anything? No, she's silent. She's stoic in the face of disaster. I see. She's been through a lot, so I guess that's to be expected. Sasuga Obasan. I can't do that. I can't be doing that. I can't be saying Japanese on the stream. That's gonna get real. That's gonna get real embarrassing real fast. That's gonna get real cringe real quick. Katamari-gasm confirmed. I'm telling, I don't remember when it is, but I swear to God, at some point in the games, one of the people mentions that it does feel really good to be rolled up in the Katamari. It's not confirmed. I don't know if I go as far as say it's confirmed, but it's very likely. It's entirely possible. I don't know, it probably would feel pretty good. I guess depending on what, I don't know, what sort of force makes it sticky. Depending on what sort of force makes the Katamari sticky. If it's like being stuck to flypaper, that probably doesn't feel too good, but I don't know. I guess I've never been stuck to flypaper though, so I can't really say that that feels bad. I'm not speaking from experience here. It could be that getting stuck to flypaper feels amazing. I would have no clue. I am not a fly. Nor am I the fly. No, I haven't. Stop it. If you were to put like a delicious slice of mango or like a particularly plump and juicy raspberry in the middle of a strip of flypaper, that would not work to capture me. I would not fall for it, so don't try it, because it will not work. You will be disappointed, okay? So don't even think about it. No, no Millie fly. If the millifly did exist, it would be some sort of... It would definitely give you some sort of disease. It would definitely bite you and give you some kind of disease. Sure, look at that guy's face. Don't write that down. Stop it. Alkemilia flypaper bondage. Come on. That's way too specific. I can very easily picture it in my mind, but you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be thinking about that. Alkemilia paper core? I think we try. I'm getting like a vague recollection of trying to figure out what the fly version of my name would be, but I don't remember what it was. For some strange reason, I feel like this has come up before. I don't think this is the first time we've talked about this. I don't know why. It must have been brought up at some point before, though, because I can't imagine that I would think that it happened and it didn't. I can't imagine that I would think that this happened, but it didn't actually. I think I will probably do the... I know I've said this like 3 days in a row, but we'll probably do the tier lists tomorrow. We will get to them. Don't worry. They have been promised, and they will happen. What else was I gonna say? I have to go to the dentist tomorrow. But I should be good to stream. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. And I'm going early enough in the day that even if I do need to get, like... Even if they do have to, I don't know, use, like, Novocaine on me or something, I think I'll be good to go by the time it's time to stream. And it would be very funny if I wasn't, so I probably will anyway. If I'm not fully recovered, it would probably be very funny for me to stream anyway, so I think I will, regardless of the outcome. What about the sneer lists? I mean, I guess a tier list is kind of a sneer list, depending on how lowly you rate certain things, you know? You're sneering at least some of the time. Did you ever ask me about green and black forest sort of area? Do you mean the picture that you drew? Because we have talked about, like, Black Forest cake and things like that, which I imagine has originated in a Black Forest sort of area, but I don't think that's what you mean. We have talked about the Black Forest, but not that one. This is what I'm talking about. Everything is cyclical. Time is a flat circle. Yeah. I saw that. I seen it. I seen that one. They look like big weed nugs to me. It's the big weed forest. Which I don't know why I was thinking about this earlier, For some reason, I was remembering there was a Twitch channel. I don't know if this is still active. There's a Twitch channel that I'm pretty sure was just called Weedman Dota. And it was a guy who would... It was a guy who would play Dota. He would only play Dota and get ripped. And he would only play one character. He would only play Pudge. And that was the whole channel. Oh, okay, yeah, no spoilers. Don't send me anything. I did read a little bit more today. Damn, you're wise. You've grown wise to my ways. My ways of being very easily distracted by the weird shit I see on DeviantArt. Also, don't write that down. Now that we've briefly brought up the topic of melee capture methods, I'm starting to realize that it would probably be incredibly easy to capture me if you really desired to do that. Don't think about that too hard. It'd probably be a lot easier than you think, so probably just don't think about it. Put that out of your mind. I'm trying to think of what was the last thing that happened. I don't remember. It's kind of hard to remember the last thing that happened. Because it keeps like jumping, because it keeps jumping back and forth now between the 3 different characters. I guess kind of 4 different characters if you count the person in the apocalyptic future communicating from the underground bunker. But I don't know, they're just doing stuff. I did get to the acrobatic pirouette line though. One day too late apparently. No, don't do that. Especially if your head starts to swell. That's probably not good for you. That's probably a sign of something else. That may or may not be related. Oh yeah, I really like the, what is it called? The echelader? I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it. I don't really know how you're supposed to pronounce it, because I don't know what the pun is supposed to be. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a pun on like echelon or something. But that seems like how you're supposed to say it. But I quite like that. And I quite like how it just completely comes out of nowhere. I'm a big fan of level ups and titles and things like that in games. So their Hussies mode of interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. Like you? What's like you? Also, what up, picture? What did I say that's like you? Come out of nowhere? Oh, okay. I mean, I guess anybody who watches, like, anybody who's watching the stream and then says something in the chat kind of comes out of nowhere. I never know who's here before they say anything, so... The only time the only time you don't come out of nowhere, I guess, is if you're typing in the chat before I'm, you know, when I'm just doing the intro music, before I'm actually, like, here. What was I gonna say? I had one more Homestuck thing I wanted to say. Oh yeah, this is probably beyond the capabilities of what was possible at the time. Or it probably wasn't something that was really being thought about and probably would have taken a lot of effort to implement, but I would have really liked it if there was like some little widget or something on the side that you could click on and see like a carrier's inventory or how much of certain materials are available just at any given moment. It doesn't really matter, but it would have been nice. I would have liked that. It's ultimately unimportant. But as it starts to get more gamey, I would have liked to see that just as a little side thing. But like I said, I understand why that's not the case. I also gotta give major props to Hussey for predicting the trend of every game being like a survival crafting, pick up a bunch of random shit and then craft a bunch of random shit type experience. That was very prophetic. I'm kind of surprised at how well it seems to have predicted future gaming trends. It almost feels like it's like a parody of games that didn't really exist yet. Which is kind of funny. It feels very modern in that regard. What up, Minty? Alright. You can report back. You can be my reporter on the scene. You can give me you can report back to me once the Game Awards are over if there's anything interesting that got shown. You can let me know if there's anything worthwhile. Yeah, the Game Awards are on. That's something that you've seen people make arrangements to make possible, but you've never seen anybody actually do it. It just seems like... I don't know. It seemed... I have... Like, it seems like a very... Like, I don't know. It seems like the kind of thing that... It's a missed opportunity to not... Like, it seems like a very obvious thing to do. You know? It seems like a very obvious thing to do. But at the same time... It also would have taken a lot of work, especially in that era, and ultimately doesn't matter. Like, it's not an actual game that you're playing, so it doesn't really matter to keep track of those things, but it does, you know, really, it would really further the immersion, or like the illusion of it being a game with a persistent inventory and things like that. I'm also kind of wondering, now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if it was a conscious decision to not have that, so that Hussey didn't have to think about it while writing Homestuck. Because if you make that sort of thing visible at all times, then you have to actually keep track of it yourself. But if you just obfuscate it from the reader, then you can completely fudge it and do it like it doesn't actually matter, you know? So now I'm wondering if that was something that was considered, but then it's like, I don't actually want to have to think about this. Like, doing that would probably require a level of foresight that was not worth it. I could only imagine that being worth it if you had, like Like if you're writing it more like a novel or something, where it's like you have a huge, like you have like the whole story written out, or like a huge chunk of the story written out before you start publishing it. But to keep track of that on like a, you know, regular basis would probably be very annoying. How often did Homestuck update? Did it ever have a did it like have a regular update schedule, or did it just get updated whenever? I'm very curious about like the timeline of it now. Worthwhile? Yeah. Well, I mean, the games might be worthwhile at some point. Most of them probably not, but some of them might be. This shit must be weirding people in this town out. I don't know, these seem like very weird like, there's a fucking dinosaur running around over here. The Katamari, like, this shit's happening. I don't know, weird shit happens around here all the time. There's like a dinosaur over there. There's like a kid riding around on a playground toy, watching like public grandma sex. It's not good. It's a very... Oh, there's another dinosaur. And a big watermelon. What's on that kid's hat? A little rocket? Yeah, it's got a little spaceship. We're certain it's getting bigger. I mean, that is the plot of the first game. If you recall, that is what the first game is about. Is you can see the Katamari growing in the background, and there's like news reports and things about it. It's not like super it doesn't really go in depth about it, but we do kind of see how the world reacts to the Katamari in the first game. It doesn't really seem like they care too much. You caught some of a question I asked regarding Homestuck? I was just wondering if it ever had like a regular update schedule. Like, did it update like every day, every week? Like, how often was it? Was it ever on like a routine schedule, or was it just whenever it felt like it? I'm just generally curious about the timeline. I was also thinking about this about the Game Awards earlier. I don't know, I had a moment of clarity after like finally deciding not to watch it. I had a moment of clarity about the Game Awards earlier where I was like, it really doesn't even matter in the sense that like do I know what else has a schedule that shows up whenever it feels like it? Me? Like, one of the big reveals at the end of the Game Awards last year was that Okami is getting a sequel, and like, I like Okami. I'm interested in Okami too. They announced the sequel to Okami last year at the Game Awards, and now we're at the next Game Awards. We're a full year later, and there's been no news about Okami 2 in that entire time. There's no new information about it. We know as much as we do then, and we know that it's being worked on, and that's literally it. Like, like, one of the only things that I was interested in from the Game Awards is, like, it doesn't even matter that it was announced, because we don't know anything about it. And we didn't know anything about it then, and we don't know anything about it now. And it's like, it just doesn't matter. They just announced it at the Game Awards to have something to announce, but they announced it way before they had anything ready to show because we still haven't seen it. So it's like, I don't even, like, it's so hard to care. Yeah, I was asking about whatchamacallit, whether it was ever on like a regular release schedule or like whatchamacallit. It was just whenever they felt like it. They'll bastardize it anyway, like the new Metroid? I don't know, because the same guy's, Kami is directing it. The guy who made the original is directing it. And he's always wanted to make a sequel. So, I'm more optimistic than usual that it will be good. Kami still makes good games, and he is also directing the sequel, and also... Actually, I don't know if he... I don't know if it was that he originally... I don't think he wanted to make a sequel. I think the original Okami was supposed to be twice as long as it is. Okami is already like 40 hours long, and it was supposed to be like ridiculously long. So I don't think it was that he wanted to make a sequel. I think it was that the original was just supposed to be way bigger. And they ended up having to, like, not cut a lot, but like stop it. Like rein in the scope and not do everything they wanted to do. So I think in that sense, he's always wanted to make a sequel. So yeah, I'm more optimistic than usual about that one. They'll get watching a lot of people that still haven't opened their eyes to the truth of how fucking dumb that shit is. Yeah, it used to be really funny. It used to be, when the production was way more slipshod, it used to be funny, but now, now it's just depressing. Now it just, like, pisses me off, I guess. It's not even, like, funny bad anymore. Now it's just depressing. I see how to work schedule. She now describes as don't fucking do this. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Semi-random. I figured as much. I figured it was semi-random because of the variable amount of effort that goes into all the panels. Like, some of the panels are like a single simple image with text, and then some of the panels are like a full interactive like game thing. So I can't imagine you could really have a regular schedule when there's like such a huge variance of what each little page is. You didn't want to... No, it's fine. I was probably going to end up talking about it anyway. I think the year that I really became illusioned with the Game Awards was the year that it was, like, really satanic for some reason. I think it was, like, 2 or 3 years ago. There was, like, a lot of weirdly satanic imagery all over the Game Awards, and it made me really uncomfortable. I began noticing. I became a noticer during that one, and I was like, I don't know. That's when I really knew that the gaming world was becoming more like Hollywood. That's when I knew that we had officially reached the point where games are basically Hollywood. When they started secretly worshiping Satan. I was like, oh. They didn't... Well, that's not what I mean, but... Stop being silly? About what? Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. When there's a longer than usual gap, that makes sense. I still have the... I do still have to give credit to the Game Awards for giving me one of my fondest memories, which was when I watched it with Picture that year, and we both had an edible before we watched it. Pretty strong ones from what I remember. From what I remember, I feel like we got pretty zooted. That was fun. That was the year that that guy, that famous guy, hosted it. Actor guy. Joel McHale, I think his name is or was. They announced, that was the one where they announced No Man's Sky. And I remember he was really excited for No Man's Sky. He was like, wow, that looks amazing. It was like the only time that he seemed genuinely excited about something that was happening that night, which is very funny in retrospect. Which is extremely funny looking back. Oh damn, we already passed 10K. I have not been looking at the scoreboard at all. I'm fully locked in. Yeah, it is very funny that edibles has come to just mean like food that contains weed. That incredibly generic term. No, I'm talking about Joel McHale. I'm talking about the guy hosting, not Picture. I don't really remember how we felt about the show. No, I don't think you did. Maybe you did, but I don't think you did. I think you got them from somebody. I feel like, I don't know, I kind of remember them being like very nicely wrapped or something. Like individually nicely wrapped. Which I mean doesn't mean you didn't make them, but it would have been weird for you to do that, I think. No, I don't think he made them that time. Maybe he did, but I don't think so. The character Shining shows up with her. It was like, what was she doing? Nothing really. I think she's just building stuff for John. A rose is a rose is a rose. Roses today, roses tomorrow. A million roses is just dandy. But don't forget our other fans. Well, I'm glad to see the king is so chipper. Again, I don't know how they intended for you to tackle this challenge, if at all, but the dialogue between sessions is weirdly applicable. It's making me uncomfortable. Oh, I fucking kicked Miso into the stratosphere. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, that's how you had to do it for a long time. That's like... Somebody had to make them. It was illegal for an extremely long time, almost everywhere. Being able to just like go to a store and buy edibles is like a relatively new thing. For the vast majority of their existence, somebody had to just make them in their house. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the last thing, I think Rose is just like building stuff for John. I don't think anything really, she's in the mausoleum of her cat, just like doing shit with John. John has not found his server side copy or whatever, which I'm assuming will happen at some point. There's been no new characters introduced. There's been no new characters introduced besides the ghost of John's grandmother, I guess. If that counts as a new character. I guess that was the last new character that I've been introduced to. And we're gonna have to be introduced to Gigi at some point. I'm very curious to see what's up with them. I don't remember what their actual... I don't remember what their screen name is. We haven't met them yet. I'm very intrigued to know what's going on over there. Time to wake up and do it for real. Don't say that to me. Garden Gnostic, okay. Don't make the jokes about me waking up from the simulation or the dream or the coma or whatever. Those get under my skin. Speaking of Gnosticism, what was I gonna say? I feel like I've said that a lot tonight. I had something. I'm very excited to meet Dave's bro. I'm very excited to meet bro. I definitely I don't really see where that theory came from, but based on his computer login screen, it seems like bro wears the Communa glasses, so I'm very excited to meet him whenever he shows up. Oh. Oh, now we're getting a lot of slowdown. Oh, I'm well aware, son. I'm well aware. As both a One Piece and a Deltarune fan, I'm well aware that people often make up absolutely bullshit theories that make no sense all the time. I'm telling you guys, Zoro's gonna betray Luffy and kill him any day now. It's gonna happen. Trust me on this. Pirate Hunter Zoro is gonna come back and he's gonna kill Luffy. Any day now. Next chapter. For sure. There's been a bug infestation at the Rose House. No. Though they're not gonna add new. That would be devastating if they added new mechanics. They added a real-time element. Hey, Bedman, what's up? Other than you seeming to be tired. Yeah, I was about to say, that doesn't really seem like a very sound theory, but... WV is gassed, or... Oh, God. Don't start doing this to me. Don't start doing this to me. I don't want it. It was a very energetic yawn. Can you yawn energetically? It has been quite a while. I guess. I don't know, when was... my mind is like... Time is becoming a sort of like a gray smear at this point due to this whole event. Every moment blends into the next, kind of. I'm sort of losing track. That is true. If anybody can do it, it would be the Bedman. The asshole making the Suicide Series is a what do you mean? Is that a specific reference to something? I don't know what that means. What is a YouTube channel of children? Maybe I don't want to know what that is. GG and WV were the same. That doesn't make any... that doesn't even make any sense. A channel watched by Global. Are you getting mad about MatPat again? This seems to happen a lot. Oh, okay. It also feels like to me like a lot of... It feels to me like a lot of these theories and things like that, like a lot of people come up with theories, but the theories don't actually like serve any sort of like grander purpose, if that makes any sense. Like even if the theory was true, it wouldn't like explain anything or like add anything to the story. You know, like it's a theory just for the sake of having a theory. It doesn't actually like mean anything, you know? Sometimes I feel like people get so caught up in like being like, what if this, or like what if it was this, and it's like, oh, I don't know, what if? That wouldn't actually like change anything or add to the story at all if that were the case. What if there were actually 10,000 spiders? I don't know. See, I don't know. What if? It would be funny to steer your story in the direction of popular idiotic theories that don't make sense. I don't know if that would be funny. Yeah, like the what if it was all a dream? What if they were dead the whole time? What if it's all a hallucination? I don't know. What if? Nothing? Oh, okay. Pickle, you can't, it doesn't work like that. I mean, you get at least a minor amount of credit for not actually using the word. That's like a small amount of progress, but you can't just... It's the same, it's basically the same as actually saying it. It's like a, I don't know, like a quarter step, like an eighth of a step. You could have taken, like, I don't know, like a couple more seconds to come up with a synonym for what you meant. That doesn't matter. I've been smoking cigarettes for years, Doc. What do you can't just expect me to stop now. I know I'm riddled with cancer, but like, I've been doing it for years. What do you mean? I can't just stop now. That is a fun fact that you can't say? Okay. Yeah, diversify your palate. Yeah, what if it's incredibly silly? I also said it for years and then I stopped, so if I can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, so can you. One fact that you can say? They do throw that word around a lot in Homestuck, which is very honest, which is very funny. I also wasn't expecting to encounter the word quadroon in Homestuck. That was a little surprising. That was a real, that was a deep pull right there. The total bullshit content aggregator. I am glad that I finally found out what total bullshit was. Because I remember seeing that on John's computer and being like, what is that? Is it total bullshit or complete bullshit? For some reason I'm remembering it as complete bullshit. But I don't know. I don't remember what it was actually called. Oh, the music is done. How long have I been streaming? An hour and a half? Damn. Well, almost an hour and a half. An hour and change. We'll get up to 417. John's one wasn't the content aggregator? Oh. There's something else? Okay. I don't remember that. I didn't realize it was something different. Anyway, I guess it's break time. Content aggregator is complete bullshit. Okay. I do still know how to read. And kind of remember things. I do still know how to read and sometimes remember things, which is good. It's good that I can do those things. No, you cannot have my soul, especially if you've got slippery hands. I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means to have slippery hands, but you can't have my soul, especially not if it's gonna slip out. Who knows what it'll happen to it? You might slip out of your hands and accidentally land in like a drain or something. I don't want that. Alright, let's see what's on screen on the Game Awards right now. I'm probably gonna get an ad though, right? I'm probably gonna get an ad if I click on it. What is on screen right now? Sports. Prime Video is telling me to watch sports. I don't like those. Not particularly. It's some guy sitting in a raft. It's some produced by Bando Namco Entertainment. Is this an Ace Combat game? Did I accidentally tune into something that I care about? This looks like it might be an Ace Combat game. That's a plane. It's got a logo on it. Ah, shit. Are they showing something cool? Damn it. Yeah, I think this is Ace Combat. Fuck. I wanted to make fun of something, but instead I think they were showing a game that I will probably play at some point. There sure are a lot of people. I don't know. There's like first person. Yeah, Ace Combat 8, Wings of Theve. 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 Something. You pronounce it in some way. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's probably not Thieve. It's like probably some other fucked up thing. That's a plane and it's coming right at us. Oh shit. Oh, it's another bot thing. John does not have any bullshit on his computer? Damn. Then I guess I don't know how to read or remember things. I guess I take it back. I guess I don't remember how to read, and I don't remember things. Never mind. False alarm, everybody. I take it back. Ugh. By those. I need to go blow by those. Alright. I'll be back in a few mementos. Oh, I accidentally changed the... There we go. I actually changed the volume on my mic to minus 0.2 decibels. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'll be back. I guess the other reason that I started to not care about the Game Awards, I started to really not care and want to quit. They just started to become so long. It goes on for so long now. It started like 7:30. It's 10:30 and it's not even over yet. It's been going on for 3 hours. And it's not even over. It's insane. So I guess that's the sign. I'll have to look out for that. If Stone ever says good day to me, I'll know that I'm in big trouble. I'll know I'm in trouble if that ever happens. I'll know that I've been a bad bat. You banned both those. You can say cunts. You're allowed to say that. It's okay. I think. I think you can say that. I don't know, actually. I think that's an offensive word, but not like a nuclear tier offensive. That's like heavy arms. But it's not like it's not like biological weaponry. It's not like chemical warfare, you know, it's not banned. It's like heavy ordnance, but it isn't like a war crime. Fillet is your favorite form of redaction? A nice fillet? A nice fillet? A delicious fillet mignon? With a nice tall, nice hefty glass of Cabernet Sauvignon to wash it down. Perhaps tomorrow I shall dine on a nice fillet of salmon with some asparagus on the side. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of any of them, I guess. I don't really have a strong opinion on either. I'm not really... I don't really have a strong opinion on either of them. In my mind, if you're gonna not commit to typing out the swear, you should just not be swearing at all, you know? That's how I feel about it. Were you trying to type out... was that supposed to be asterisks, but fully censored with asterisks? Is that what that was? Alright, now the game volume is way too loud compared to the music for me. I'm gonna have to adjust that. Once we get to 418, I'll do it. Well, I'm not a fan of it I'm not a fan of it regardless. I want the full I release the documents fully unredacted. Who are they trying to protect? That's all I'm saying. Who are they trying to protect? There we go. I know they used to do that in old novels and things like that, but I don't really remember exactly why. Like in fictional novels, sometimes they would be like in the town of like S and then like a long dash. They would like censor the name of a town. Rather than like make up, I don't know, it was weird. Damn, the sound effects are only on 1. Yeah, but I always imagined that was... Why did it only play 1 song? Was it accidentally set to stop after 1 song? It shouldn't have been. Ah, fuck. I just filled my glass. Alright, hold on. BRB. BRB. We need to do some emergency cleanup here. Oh, it's soaking in. Oh, God. It's soaking my bits. Get out of there. I gotta change my pants now, too. Fug. Fug. Alright, I'm muting myself. I'll be right back. I'm wiping off the controller. It might be fucked up, though. I don't know. That didn't seem correct. There may be liquid inside the controller now. We'll find out momentarily. Let's see. Am I doing weird shit or am I good? No, I'm doing weird shit. Okay, the controller is temporarily fucked up. There's liquid inside the controller. Okay, well now I have to go find a different controller, I guess. Which I think I have. I don't know. I think there's probably another one around here somewhere. But where, I don't know. Okay, maybe a little bit of a longer break. Maybe, we'll see. I'll be back in some amount of time now. How much time? I don't know. Alright. I found a PlayStation 1 controller. Which I think works with the PlayStation 2, but I don't actually know. We're about to find out, I guess. I don't know if I have another PS2 controller. I couldn't find it. It's not where it is supposed to be, so... Okay, yeah, this one works. We can work with this. We can work with this. Hopefully that other controller's not, like, straight fucked. Hopefully it, like, works. Once it dries. I'm assuming it will. Those things are resilient. There we go. Sorry about that. I gotta be more careful about my drink placement, I guess. I took the brunt of the blow, but my controller suffered... My controller was hit by some shrapnel and suffered a debilitating wound. It's gonna be recuperating in the field hospital for a little while. I'm assuming it'll be okay. I don't know, I kind of like 20XX. 20XX is my favorite indeterminate year. My favorite non-specific span of time. I guess I don't have another PS2 controller. Because it's not where it would... This actually feels better than the PS2 controller. This actually feels way better. Maybe because it hasn't been used as much? That might be it. It might just be because I used the PlayStation 1 controller less. Especially the analog sticks on it probably wouldn't have seen nearly as much use as the analog sticks on the other controller. It's fresher, it's cleaner. I don't know. Sorry that took so long. It wasn't that bad, though. It wasn't like a crisis. I mean, other than the controller not working, but I'm assuming that'll be fine by tomorrow. Oh, the statue changes! I think this was a statue of, like, a girl or something, like, standing here. I gotta keep an eye on that. I think that's one of the things that changes randomly. Interesting. I guess maybe the pouting emote did come true a little bit. Although that was less pouting and more like panic. That was more like panic or crying than pouting, I would say. Like I said, I think of the pouting as a more playful emotion. What I was experiencing just now was not playful. It was exasperating. Crisis averted, though. Oh! Damn, none of these have respawned yet. Okay. None of those have respawned yet. Meow. Again, I wonder what made them choose not to put roses in certain spots where there probably should be roses. What does this lady say? Oh, she says... That's the noise old ladies make.
Oh my god.
They say... I don't know, that really killed my momentum. That really harshed my mellow, I gotta say. My mellow got harshed on fatty style. My mellow got harshed on something fierce. I don't know what my goal is for tonight. I'll probably keep it light. I'd probably keep it light. I'll probably, yeah, I got stuff to do tomorrow. Now that I think about it. I gotta go to the dentist, and there's probably other stuff I should do while I'm out and about, so... They should make it difficult to eat sweet called a harshmallow? That's gotta be a thing. That's got to be a thing already. That's one of my favorite things to do, is come up with fake foods and like fake fruits and things like that, and give them funny names. As far as world building goes. It's not even really world building, but I mean, I guess it kind of is. Oh yeah, that was a little tidbit about Homestuck that I forgot to bring up that I thought was interesting. They introduced a little bit of intrigue when John goes into the safe and he sees the old newspaper clippings that his dad has of maybe the same thing happening several times in the past. Maybe in alternate versions of reality. I don't know. I don't know what's up with that yet, but they did drop that little... There was a little tidbit of intrigue that was dropped in regards to that. And I was like, I'll be glad if I cure... I'll be glad if I cure single disease. I'm not planning on doing that. But if it happens, I'll be quite pleased. I'll be rather chuffed if such a thing were to occur. Looking for... Ugh. It's got eyes on the inside, it knows. It consumed too much madman's knowledge. Its insight is far too great. I think that might have actually been the last page that I read. Or very near it. I think that might have actually been the last thing that I saw. Or very close to it. It could be named like an eggplant. Ooh, that would be a funny gag. Or one of the characters is like, you know what? Why do they call this a hand fruit? It doesn't look anything like a hand. And then somebody's like, well, actually, where I come from, we have the original hand fruits, and they encounter a hand fruit later, and it like literally looks exactly like a hand or something like that. That would be a good joke. The gag is it looks like a foot? Oh. That's a different gag. I think that's maybe that's a separate gag. I think there's enough room for both. I think we can do both. All right, come on. Come on now. I don't know. I don't think the bad jokes are enough to trigger a pout. I think I'm used to those enough. I've grown accustomed to those to the point that it's never going to be that bad. It's gotta take more than that. I feel like, I don't know, I like cooking. I mean, I like cooking in general, but I like that as a part of, like, world building. I think that's a really great way to, like, add flavor to your world without, like, very easily. I always find it very charming. Except I do always remember in A Song of Ice and Fire, whenever they would talk about food, he would always, like, laboriously describe what they were eating, but it was, like, it was not charming. I don't know. It was always, like, the same stuff. They ate a lot of peas and fiery Dornish peppers. I remember that. They ate a lot of peas and fiery Dornish peppers. And everybody was always wearing leather doublets. Everybody was always getting around in their leather doublets. Look, I realized what I said it was not meant to be a joke, but it was too late for me to stop. I was already mid-sentence, so I couldn't think of a synonym fast enough. The Batter Witch? I don't like that. What was that about? I saw that video, but I didn't watch it. I was recommended that video, but I didn't watch it. What is it? What is about the corn? What's going on with the corn? I know where corn comes from. America? The Americas? Maize? As the Native Americans would call it. Yeah, but there's also, like, zombies and, like, dragons and things, so, like... I mean, I get it, but, like, there's also, like, magic. There's, like, magic dragons. And, like... that kind of shit. And people can, like, possess animals. So, I don't know. It's not kind of... there could be corn there. It's not that fantastical to think about. Well, there's magic all over. But not really as it exists in A Song of Ice and Fire. That series is never getting finished. It's very unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate. I don't know if there's anybody out there who still has any hope that he's gonna finish those books, but I think it's like a less than 1% chance that we ever see a conclusion to that saga. Maybe somebody else will finish it, but he's almost certainly not going to. Well, I meant the books. The TV show is a different thing. I guess I should have been specific. I should have been more specific. It's probably never going to get a conclusion as written by the original author. There we go. That's what I meant. I guess that's really what I was trying to... That's really what I was trying to get at. That was the spirit of what I was saying. I never actually finished watching that show. I was about to say, that happens... After summering through the Game Awards, hearing his rapid decline in mood and outlook, it's a good thing I'm running this charity. Well... I'm running a charity event to get people to donate to the charity. I'm not running the charity. I do not officially represent the AFSP. I am not an official representative of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. I do not run the charity in any sort of official capacity. I know that's not what you meant, but I just figure we should be clear on this. I just figure I should be specific again. Was it really that bad? What was the big reveal at the end? What was the big banger? What was the big closing? What was the Marvel after credits teaser for the next film? Slash, were there any other highlights? Was there anything else? I saw the trailer for Ace Combat 8. I saw that. I wanted to tune... I tuned in randomly at the beginning of a break just to see what was on screen. And I was like, ah, shit, I think they're actually showing something that I'm interested in. And it ended up being Ace Combat 8. Yeah, I don't know. It did seem a little weird. But... there's a lot of first-person cutscenes. Like, when you're out of the plane. But at the same time, Ace Combat has always had a lot of cutscenes. Outside of the... when you're not in the plane. It's just a different directorial style. Like... I don't know, we'll see. Or maybe they're trying to make it more gameplay. Like, a little bit more interactable when you're not in the plane. And that's the direction they're taking it in. I don't know. We'll have to see. You just watched and you really couldn't tell? Do you mean like as in you didn't know what it was, or you already forgot what you saw? As in it was unclear what you were watching, or you watched it and then immediately forgot? I gotta put on more music. They revealed Spurb. That's not good. Isn't that bad for us? I'm led to believe that that causes bad things to happen. I think maybe I think we don't want that. Yes, I would rather Americans don't commit suicide. I would rather nobody commit suicide, actually. It's not an American-specific thing, but I do live in America and am American, so... Holy shit, they revealed this guy? I would play that. They revealed... World premiere! A new mammal. Grown in Jeff Keighley's secret underground laboratory. We have created a sentient homunculus known as Sackboy. Sackboy is now real. Sackboy is now real, and we have released hordes of them into every major urban center across the globe. It's only bad for the people who don't play? I don't know, it seems pretty bad for the people who do play, too. I mean, it seems worse for the people who don't play, but I don't know if I'd say that it's good for the people who do play. You want to cleanse yourself? Okay. That's fine. So I'm guessing Expedition 33 won most of the awards. The first video game to ever be released. Expedition 33. The only video game that has ever been created. We need to buy a copy of Spurb for everyone on Earth? Would that work? That seems complicated. I feel like there's probably an easier solution to this. What if just nobody boots it up? Do they ever address that in the story? Just a simple yes or no will suffice. You don't have to be specific. What happens if just nobody ever plays it? Is playing it what triggers the apocalypse? Or what I assume to be an apocalypse? A Vlay is a shallow minor lake, mostly of a seasonal or intermittent nature. It even might refer to seasonal ponds or marshy patches where frogs and similar marsh dwellers breed. Commonly, vlays vary in their extent or even in the presence or absence of water according to the fall of rain or dryness of the season. I feel like I've heard that word before. I don't know why. The term vlay sounds vaguely familiar to me. It feels like that's not the first time I've read that, but I don't know. You don't remember if it's addressed or not? Okay. Oh, wow. I don't know. I don't like looking at that frog. I don't like that one very much. Really? So there were no highlights? There's got to be at least, you got to be able to name at least one thing that looked interesting, or that you're potentially excited for, besides Ace Combat 8. There has to be at least one thing. I'll drop the topic after this. That's a better angle. There's got to be... I'm probably going to be viewing the frog more from the above angle, though, so... Stupid never dies? Okay. That sounds interesting. It's at least an original IP, it sounds like. Did they show any gameplay? I know that they don't really do that anymore. They're not really... The Game Awards is not really about showing gameplay. I guess I can just look it up myself, but... Hey, now that I think about it, there was that other game that got announced that we also haven't heard about in an entire year. Whatever Fumito Ueda's working on. That game looked cool, but I don't think we've got any more information about that in an entire year either. I don't remember what it was called, if it even had a name, but... That seemed cool. Okay. I like those things. Now I need to raise... the volume mixing's all over the place tonight. I'm sorry. The volume mixing's all over the place. My drink is all over my body and the floor. It's horrible. What a nightmare. What a nightmare. Ooh, this is a good... Hold on. I think I may have just found a new route. Yeah, game set in 2000X. Wait a minute, hold on. I'm innovating. I have not been super satisfied with my routing on this stage so far, but that felt pretty good. That go-around felt pretty dang good, I gotta say. Friend is mildly upset that various cultural errors continue to be rehashed. This is everything reemerges. Have you ever read anything by Mark Fisher? Because if not, you probably should, because he talks about that idea a lot. About how our modern era doesn't have a cultural identity of its own. It's just a regurgitation of previous eras. And it's becoming worse and worse over time. We are living in a very hauntological cultural epoch. He talks a lot about that and its implications on society. He seems like a cool guy. I haven't looked into his stuff too much personally, but he seems like a pretty cool guy. And I'm pretty sure he also took his own life. So that's sad and relevant. That ties everything back in to the charity, I guess. I don't know. Maybe Maybe I shouldn't try to do little segue zingers like that. I don't know if that didn't feel very good. That's something about that didn't feel right. Maybe we don't do that. Maybe would I drink malted milk? I don't think I know what that is. I mean, I've heard the term before, but I don't know if I actually know what malted milk is. I mean, probably. I do like milk, so I'd give it a whirl. I've had an egg cream before. Is it like an egg cream? You would go to the Millie malt shop? This is just a malt shop that I own and or work at, right? That's all that means? Just so we're clear? You're kind of hung up on my pronunciation of epoch? Epoch? How are you supposed to say it? Epic? Epoch? Epich? I don't know. I'm only one person. I don't know if they say it like that. I say it like that, but that doesn't mean that's correct. I wouldn't take the way that I wouldn't take the way that I say things as an indication of correctness. Have you heard me talk before? That is correct? Okay, I thought so. That's how I've always said it, so... The Millie malt shop with real malted Millie milk? Why do we keep talking about my milk? Why does that keep coming up? Stop thinking about that. I would try malted milk, but I would not try malted Millie milk. If you could even get any. I feel like that's probably the last thing that you should be thinking about when you see me. That's probably one of the last things that should come to mind, is milk. Fumin kind of like bobs his head a little bit. I like that. I like that about him. Again, I think that might raise him up in the tier list a little bit. I like that. See, this is another thing. This is another reason why I'm not excited to tell my childhood friends about the stream. I don't know if they need to hear this. I don't know if they need to hear that people think about milking me and what to do with the resultant product. fairly often, it seems like. It's not even an isolated incident. I think maybe for the cousin tier list, we're gonna have to do like a cousin fashion review. Because I kind of like Fumin's like little ascot scarf that he's got going on. I don't think I can just like look at a list. I think I gotta like I gotta be in the game and like examine their fit, you know? I got to examine how they wear the various accessories. It seems it's changing my opinion ever so slightly. This might end up being a bit more of an endeavor than I anticipated. I might have to put more effort and thought into it than I was anticipating. Alright, I guess I was already over here. I couldn't remember. I don't know. Award shows are dumb, man. I guess that's my final opinion. Award shows in general are kind of silly. That's my final take. That's my final say on the matter. Oh god. I will say, I do think it was kind of a good idea that they bound the dash to just a button in Once Upon a Katamari. You can still do this, but it is nice to be able to just press a button. The motion from this game is definitely way more satisfying, but it is a little too finicky. If they manage to get it working 100% of the time every time, if it were easier to do, then I don't think it would be necessary to have the button, but it's nice that you have the option. What is that? Why is there a little bear? Some motherfucking rat or something? I don't know. I always read those guys as bears. Doesn't really look like a rat to me. I guess it's up to interpretation, but I see bear when I look at that. Like a little teddy bear. Well, that's definitely a bear. That's the most bear of them all. Slug cat? I guess it could be a slug cat, too. No, because it's got, like, a visible mouth. Slug cat would have the little triangle nose in the middle, but no mouth. I should go back to Rain World someday. I never actually beat it. I never actually finished it. It was cool. Wherever I got to, I got like really frustrated. And I put the game down and I never went back to it. Not like consciously. It was just one of those things where every time I would go to play it again, I would be like, do I really want to do this right now? And the answer would always be no. Well, it's not linear, but it's not really a sandbox. It's definitely not linear, but it isn't really a sandbox. There isn't a goal and an objective. There is stuff to do other than just mess around. So it's not really a sandbox in that sense. But it is definitely not linear. You can very easily fuck yourself over in that game, and you probably will the first time you play it, because you will not know what you're doing. It does involve a lot of experimentation, and it doesn't really tell you very much about how it works. You have to figure it out. That's what makes it cool, though. I did really like it. I do really like it, and I respect it. But it is not necessarily a fun game most of the time. It's not really a game that you play to have fun. Yeah, no, it's not really. I think you're just misapplying the term sandbox, Fickle. I think you're just using the term sandbox a little incorrectly. I get what you're trying to say, but I don't think sandbox is the right term. I definitely really like the world building of Rain World as well, and the rain. I guess that's true. Noida is a literal sandbox. You find it fun in the same way that it feels fun to be a rat pumped full of adrenaline so your muscles won't give out even as they scream at you after being made to run dead straight from a hungry owl. See, I don't know if I would call that fun at all. That's not really my definition of fun, but hey. Rain World definitely has a very steep learning curve, that's for sure. A lot of it just getting accustomed to the controls. It takes a little while to get used to the controls, which is amplified by the fact that you can very easily die. You can very easily die for a variety of reasons. It's fun to step out of your daily ennui and simulate a more reactive and instinctual mode of existence. That does make sense. I could see it. It is very stimulating. That's true. I would call that more thrilling than fun, but I get what you're saying. I do find the, I don't know. I do find the prey animal experience rather stimulating, now that you mention it. But less mentally stimulating and more like sexually stimulating, if that makes any sense. If you catch my meaning. We need to be able to put ennui on the Wii. There was that canceled Wii game called Sadness or something like that. We got something close to it almost. Does anybody remember that game? It was like a black and white game. It was supposed to be like a black and white horror game that got announced for the Wii, like when the Wii was new. I think it was just called Sadness. And it looked really cool, but it never actually came out. I think it was just called Sadness. It had a very simple one-word title like that. It does do it again. The world building in Rain World is very good. That's probably my favorite part about it. Gutter, maybe a little bit. I might be a little bit gutter minded tonight. I don't know. I might have a mood coming on. I don't know. Yeah, weather as a threat is a very cool thing. I think it's pretty underutilized in games as a whole, honestly. I think weather being like an actual thing that can fuck you up or like cause you to think about the game in a different way is like very underutilized in games, especially with the proliferation of like open world games. I feel like weather is a very underutilized like thing, at least in like an effective matter, like, you know, in an effective implementation. Is this a picture of... Yes, this is what I'm thinking of. Copyright 2006. It was just called Sadness. That's a sad freaking bit right there. They got dumped into the Bloober team. Oh. Maybe it wouldn't have been good then. I don't know. Maybe I was wrong to be excited about Sadness, which is a very funny sentence in isolation. It's a very funny sentence outside of context. I've never actually played a Bloober Team game, but I've not heard good things about them. I haven't personally played anything that they've made, but I have not heard positive things about anything that they've worked on, I don't think. Observer? They made Observer? Okay, I guess I have heard good things about Observer. I know people like that game. But I guess that's really all I know. I don't really know why they like it or anything about it. Yeah, that's always a great sign. Oh, that does remind me of one of my favorite moments from the new Smiling Friends season. I forgot to mention it when I was talking about it yesterday, but that does remind me of a moment in the new Smiling Friends that got a very loud laugh out of me. It's a very unexpected laugh. Haven't watched it yet. It was pretty good. I liked it. I'd say it was probably about as good as season 2. I don't know. I gotta watch season 2 again. I still think season 1 was the best one, but I still liked the seasons 2 and 3. Yeah, so the Silent Hill 2 remake is officially in. I don't really want to talk or think about it anymore. I guess. You think you like season 2 better? I gotta watch them again, but I'm pretty sure I prefer season 1. I'm just glad that that show exists and got made. The only thing I'll say is I feel like they are leaning a little bit too much on the violence as comedy thing, which I've never been a huge fan of. I've never been a huge fan of violence as comedy. And I feel like that wasn't really present in season 1, and it sort of is being introduced more as the series goes on. It's not like horrible, or it's not like really bad, but I feel like that wasn't really a thing in the first season. Maybe it was. Again, I don't really remember exactly, but I feel like it's definitely gotten more prevalent. Yeah, depression as comedy is funnier to me. I don't know why. Maybe because as a depressed little bitch, maybe I can just relate more. Maybe that's why. The Yeti bit was very good. Sex as comedy is, of course, the highest echelon. I think that might actually be my least favorite thing. I think I might prefer violence as comedy as opposed to sex as comedy. I don't know. It's like sort of like a... It's sort of like, I don't know, like violence as comedy is usually not funny to me. It's like a neutral not funny, but sex comedy is usually like a negative funny. Like it makes me upset most of the time. Again, I think anything can be funny, but it's not really my thing. I don't mix my hobbies with my comedy. Would you consider sex a hobby? I guess for some people it is. Depending on how you choose to engage. Depending on your sexual proclivities, I guess sex could be a hobby. Depending on how you treat it. I tell jokes about sex, penis, and boob all the time. Do I? I guess, I don't know. I guess I'm drawing sort of like a sort of a delineation between like sexually suggestive or sexually explicit comedy and comedy about like actual sex having. I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, I guess I don't really know what I'm talking about. I guess now that I'm saying it, I don't know if I really have a... I don't know if I really have a way of expressing my point in a way that makes any sense. Ranked competitive sex when? I don't really want to think about the implications of that. I'm queuing into the sex ranked matchmaking as DPS. I only play DPS. I only queue as support. I only queue as support in the sex matchmaking because the queue times are faster. Look, I only do it because queue times are faster, okay? That's the only reason why. I just don't want to have to wait. It's not like I'm into it or anything. I just want to get more games. I tank. You wish you could be a better healer sometimes? Are we still talking about sex? Do you mean in sex? Or are we done with that? Have we moved on? It's a little bit unclear now.
Oh, I feel it.
I guess I mainly use humor as a way of expressing myself in a variety of ways. Because it's easier that way for me. I think this is another one of those situations where I have to phrase anything sexual or suggestive as sort of a joke or humorous, because if I were to do it seriously, I don't know if I could handle it. If I were to do it seriously and get a serious response, I'm not sure that I would be able to deal with that. You're not making it any more clear. Competitive and combat stuff. Maybe I don't want to be fighting so much. Well, you gotta. I'm sorry, you're playing the wrong game. You gotta go find a different game. Solving problems with sex instead of violence. I guess. I do generally prefer cooperative games as opposed to competitive games. It would be nice to have just more co-op games in general. There are a lot of co-op games out these days, but I feel like a lot of co-op games are still sort of coasting on the idea that it's like meant to be like a social experience. I want co-op games that are like as deep and mechanically complex as competitive games, but they're just not competitive. You know? I feel like a lot of co-op games sort of just like lean on the idea that You're playing a game with your friends, so it's... Have you heard about Spurb? I have, actually. Don't Starve Together in Vintage Story? Okay. But those are more... Those are still single-player games. You just can play them with your friends. Like, you don't... Like, I'm talking about, like, a game that you can't really play single-player. You know? Or, like, that's designed around a co-op experience in the same way that a comp game is designed around a multiplayer experience. Is it? Okay, I guess I don't really know anything about that game, to be fair. That would explain why it's called Don't Starve Together. Now that I think about it. But also, you can't have healing if you don't have violence. You can't have... You can't become a healer if there's nothing to heal. You know? Did you ever think about that? Even if you yourself are not instigating the violence, you're still... Violence is still happening. You know? There's still at least implied violence. Because if there wasn't, then there would be nothing to heal. You know? So... think about that. Illness? Oh yeah, I guess that. Illness is a kind of violence, though. Have you ever heard of a game called Trauma Center? Yeah, violent microorganisms. Mountain climbing accidents? Those can be very violent. Mountain climbing accidents can be incredibly violent. I was attacked by the ground. Wow, we said that at almost the exact same time, Pickle. At least on my end. I'm sure there's probably a little bit of delay or something, but that happened at almost the exact same time for me. Can you heal exhaustion, though? Like... Is that something you heal? Like, can anybody... Like, you can't really... I don't know. You just kind of have to rest, I guess. That's my healing spell. I conjure caffeine directly into your bloodstream. I use magical stimulants to cure your exhaustion. I cast conjure amphetamine directly into your bloodstream. Power word. Triple shot espresso. Dwarves could be taken to bed to rest by medical dwarves. Yeah, but then in that situation, it's the bed doing all the work, you know? I'm just being pedantic at this point. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Now I'm just being cheeky. Now I'm just being pedantic for the sake of it. All right. All right. I gotta get back into Dwarf Fortress. I haven't played it in a while. I want to set up a library in the next fort that I make. That was one of the most fun things I've done in Dwarf Fortress, I think. I don't think I played the fortress itself too much after I got it working, but it was fun to watch the little scholars go around and write their books and see the bookshelves fill up. That was very satisfying when I got like paper and like codices being produced regularly. That was nice. Didn't I say that I'd run shorter tonight? We still got time for it to be shorter. We're still running on shorter right now. Don't worry about it, okay? You don't have to worry about that. I don't think the death metal is the play. As much as I like Tomb Mold, I don't think it really works for Katamari. I was trying to push the limits of what is acceptable Katamari music. I don't think it works. I wasn't really feeling it. Then again, it was also interrupted by me spilling an entire beverage on myself, so I don't know. But I'm actually wearing no shoes right now, believe it or not. I know that may be shocking to hear, but I'm actually wearing no shoes right now. I guess part of the reason I want to play Dwarf Fortress again, but I haven't, is because I gotta relearn all the controls. I still haven't done that. I still haven't taken the time. I mean, I'm sure it'll be not as bad, but I'm sure it'll be fine, but still. I do not stream while on stilts, no. I do not stream while on stilts. I was gonna say I'm not that insecure about my height, but I don't know. I never really got made fun of for being short throughout my life. But I guess I do get a little... I guess I am affected a little bit when people say stuff about me being small. I guess I was gonna say it doesn't really bother me, but I haven't ever really been in a position to be bothered by it, so I don't know. Maybe it does. I'm not sure. It'll take about 6 to 12 hours. That's longer than I thought. Is it really gonna take that long? Small Amelia. There's gotta be a better one than that. There's gotta be something more, catchier than that one. Like Alkemilia, Mini-Melia, Millimilia. Oh no, that's like a horrible like an extended like human centipede style Millie with 1,000 arms. That thing's an abomination. You don't want to talk about the Mini-Melia. You don't want to see that thing. Did you say Alkemilia before you heard me say it? Was that another example of convergent evolution? Petra short? I guess it does bother me now that I think about it. I guess it does bother me because Alketinia Petra short definitely got to me a little bit. Alkemilia Petri dish. No, that's if I was a scientist. That's me if I was wearing a lab coat. That's Alkemilia Petri dish. That's me if I was wearing a lab coat, and I guess had thicker square glasses as opposed to the thin round glasses that I'm wearing currently. The delay is big? Okay, I just wanted to make sure. No, I was just talking about that. I actually didn't get bullied. I never did get bullied, like at all, for any reason. Least of all because I was short. Or am short. Was and currently still am short. Birdification. Don't say it like that. Thicker round glasses with a swirl. That doesn't, I don't know. That doesn't read as scientist to me. That's too silly. That reads as like someone who like maybe is a scientist. That's like incompetent scientist. That's like goofy scientist. You know? Who's constantly having potions blow up in their face and getting covered in soot. I was and am short. It's true. That's egad. I guess he does have the are they swirly? I guess they are. Scientists make potions and concoctions and things like that. Just because they have a more scientific sounding name for it doesn't mean that's not what it is. Have alcohol delivery? That's a good one. Yeah, that would be a challenging one. Highly flammable and fragile because it's in glass. Yeah, we got to start thinking about that picture. We have to start thinking about the different types of stuff that you could transport and how, like, Types of things that you could transport that would have unique mechanics or like unique stuff tied to them. Alcohol being flammable is a good idea. Or flammable materials. It just like flammable types of objects is good in general. Flammable is like not flammable is like tier 0 difficulty. That's like 1-star difficulty. Flammable is like 2-star difficulty, and then explosive is like 3-tier difficulty. 3-star difficulty. Do a fire delivery? Chefs also make potions? I guess, yeah. If you think of it that way. If you really stretch your definition of potion. Me putting ice cream and frozen fruit into a blender. Me putting frozen yogurt and frozen fruit into a blender. I cast Ice Storm. I cast a Blizzard. Me turning on the blender. I cast Tornado. Me taking a sip of my fruit smoothie. I cast Banish Hunger. Me tuning into my favorite VTuber stream. I cast Simulate Friendship. I cast Conjure Social Relationships. I'm sorry. That one was cruel. That was cruel. Are potions liquefied spells? Are spells aerated potions? Are spells evaporated potions? Me turning on my stream. I cast. Okay, that's a pretty good one. I think that's it. I think that's it. I think we're done now. I think we've reached the logic. I think we've reached the logical conclusion of this joke. I guess that really depends, Grinner, on where you fall on the magic chicken and egg question. Is a potion a liquefied spell, or is a spell an evaporated potion? I don't know. I'm not sure which one came first. That is true. They are both magical. The means by which they achieve their results are different. Anything in a round bottom flask? I guess so. Or some sort of vial with a cork stopper. Anything in a container with a cork stopper is a potion in my book. What's a potion in a square bottom flask? Not something I would drink, that's for sure. The potion soda stream? Ooh, those definitely would exist in an urban fantasy setting. Potion soda fountains, or like potion vending machines, and they come in cans. I'm telling you, man, the urban fantasy genre is so underutilized, I feel like. Urban Fantasy's main problem is that the magic shit is always secret. There's always like there's the normie world, and then there's the magic world. It's way more interesting if the magic is the foundation of the world, because then you can do silly stuff like that. I'm always very disappointed when I see something that's like modern day, but there's magic, and they're like, oh, but the magic is secret, and people can't know about it. It's like, oh, okay, whatever. Maybe it's just because I'm so used to it being the other way around, but I find it way more interesting when a setting that has magic treats the magic as like not being special. As like a foundational part of the world. That's like common. I think it's way more interesting from a world building perspective when it's like magic is like ubiquitous. Because if magic was like a real thing that people could, I mean, it is a real thing, but if magic was like magic in like a fantasy series was like real, like that would become like the basis of technology and society and stuff like that, you know? It would have a profound impact on technology and like that sort of thing. The world would be based around it if it were possible. Have you ever seen a processor up close? We're living it. Yeah, processors are actually like Solomonic demon summoning sigils. I'm aware. I've noticed. That's how they really work. What did I miss about the potions? What's a potion in a flask with a big skull and bones crossed on it? It's round. It's probably safe then. Okay, I don't know if I would take that risk, but... Imagine a world where there's exactly one type of spell or one type of potion. I don't know if that world would be that interesting. I don't know if that would have that much of an effect. I guess it depends on what the spell... I guess it depends on what the singular spell or potion is. If the singular spell or potion is just like fireball or something, I don't know if that would change very much. A really good urban fantasy setting, but it's a vehicle for zornographic smut interactive fiction. Oh, what is that? The only spell is counterspell. That's a good one. The singular spell or potion is something fairly esoteric. That would be, I think that would be interesting if the singular spell or potion was like extremely powerful. Like if it was an extreme, like if it had like a very dramatic effect. I think that would be kind of interesting. I feel like you could build something out around that. I cast upset tummy. I cast tummy troubles. Heat resistance potions. I mean, that's just liquid cooling, right? We kind of have those, in a sense. That's just antifreeze, isn't it? Probably a little bit more dramatic than that, but... Or no, wait, antifreeze is the opposite of heat resistance. Antifreeze is like Cold resistance. I'm fucking stupid. I can't believe I just said that. That's maybe the dumbest thing I've ever said. I've said a lot of dumb shit, but that was really bad. I got it right the first time. That one was pretty bad. Oh, okay. Do worry about it. What if there was a world where all magic was like cleaning? I guess things would be a lot cleaner? What do you mean by that? Or like you gain magic power by cleaning. I still want to know what the name of this urban fantasy smut is. I'm being deprived. I'm gonna switch stages. I don't know if I'll actually read it, but I am curious. A warlock studying dark tomes of dysentery. Okay, that's what I was gonna say. World where magic exists, but all of the spells have really silly names. So nobody wants to become a wizard because they don't want to have to say the stuff out loud. There's still like normal magical spells, but they just have really funny names. And you have to dress very silly to make them more powerful. The sillier you look, the more powerful they become.
Hello? 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 Hello?
I cast somebody in like a furry, like rainbow colored coat and like a hat with like a million bells on it, and a feather stuck in it, comes up to you and says, I cast Zimblebop's flubulation. And then your blood starts to boil and your entire body explodes.
Hey, you.
So that's what that bird. Yeah, okay. Yeah, world where spells are just slurs. We can do that one too, I guess. I was trying to avoid that one, but I guess that one's funny too. I guess so. All it can do is various forms of cleaning. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Yeah, Frank's Rootin' Tootin' Cowboy Boot and Frostbolt. And then all of your blood freezes in your veins and you die a quick and painful death. Yeah, and all the famous wizards who invented the spells have names like Fruity Frank and Jimmy the Jolly Jester and Piss Pants Pete. Yeah, this one I think has the most density of roses, but they respawn more slowly than the other ones. Once you actually go, like, once you actually make a couple run-throughs and, like, gather most of them, they respawn they don't respawn that fast. I don't think it would be very efficient because it takes quite a while to load back in and stuff. And it's random which one you get, so you're not guaranteed to get this again, you know? So you can't even really do that. I guess the stages spawn in with more roses. So, I mean, maybe it's more efficient to spawn in and do like a couple go-rounds to clear everything, to clear out all the bunches and then reload. But I don't know. I don't know if that would actually be more efficient, and I don't really care to try. I have a feeling it's not. Or if it is, it's only very slightly more efficient. The amount of annoyance that would cause me, I think it would fatigue me much more quickly, because I could never get into the zen flow state of just rolling around without thinking about it. I think it would be like, I think it would be more inefficient in that regard. Hold on, I'm gonna click on the coat right now. I gotta get to a safe spot. That's not a safe spot. I don't know. It's almost there. I don't really like it either, but I almost like it with a little bit of a adjustment. Yeah, I think my determination on that pickle is even if it is more efficient, I don't really want to do that. How about you get We Love Katamari and you unlock everything and get the Rose mission yourself, and then you can do as much experimentation on this as you'd like. Okay. Lords and Loyalty. Oh, okay. I was confused for a second. I thought you said you played it. How do you not have an opinion on it? Or do you think I might think it sucks? And not in like a sexual way. I was trying to... I'm sorry. I think I am entering a bit of a mood. I think I might be in a bit of a mood. What is Natsuo's idle animation? He just kind of like... He also does the... Yeah, he does that. Which I don't know how I feel about. Oh, it says chat is paused. Oops. Oh, you barely played it. Okay. You barely played it, and then you got to the first mention of genitalia, and you were like, egads. You were said, well, I never. And you put it down. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea, actually, Pickle. Ooh, that is really bad. I can't say I've ever seen that happen before. That's a nice suit. I like that one. I would wear that. Man, the Sixth Doctor really put on some weight. The Sixth Doctor ate the Fifth Doctor. It's not that bad. He really widened out in his old age. He looks good though. He looks jolly. He looks like quite an affable fellow. I'm not reading that picture. I'm not saying that. Maybe I'll play that game. Maybe I'll play the game that was just mentioned. Maybe we can do that on the After Dark stream. Maybe we can do that on the secret After Dark stream. At In-N-Out, they reprogrammed their system to skip number 67 in queue because the kids were getting too rowdy. What's going on out there, man? What's happening out in the world? I don't get it. I don't understand. I would definitely believe it's that bad. Like I said, I have a friend who used to be a teacher. I'm not doubting you. I fully believe that. I have a friend who used to be a teacher and he quit being a teacher because the kids are apparently that bad these days. He became so disillusioned with the youth of today that he actually stopped being a teacher. So I fully believe it. Yeah, you're gonna have to engage in combat. You're gonna have to engage in combat against the youth of today. It will fade in time, though. Hopefully. It's lasting longer than I would have expected, to be honest. No, it's not. Gen X is old. It's like whoever's younger than the Zoomers. I think we're past Zoomers now. What are we on like, is it like Gen Alpha or something? Is like the most recent one? Or relatively recent? Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Is that still the most recent one? Now Gen Beta's being born? Okay, I figured it was about that time. The fucking betas. Oh no. When are we gonna get to Gen Sigma? Never? Oh shit. What do you know, Pickle? What do you know about what's gonna go down? I did see the screenshot though, Grinner. That was exceptionally fucked up. Yeah, I guess if the world crumbles under the reign of betas, that's not enough time. By the time the betas are in charge, I don't think we'll have enough time to reach Gen Sigma. You're right. Oh. I just did a big ol' yawn. Not an energetic yawn. No, they'll just start using emojis. Once we get through the Greek alphabet, then they'll just start using emojis. Jen's smiling cowboy. Jen green square. Jen levitate. Jen male elf. What even is that one? Oh, it's levitate. Okay, it's so tiny on my screen. When are we gonna get to the... They'll just start using Twitch chat emotes. When are we gonna get to Gen Poggers? I couldn't even finish saying it. Did you hear my voice? Did you hear my soul? I think a piece of my soul permanently left my body as I was saying that. I felt so bad about it. I think a tiny piece of my soul was chipped off and flew into the darkness as a result of me saying that. I have a feeling my emotes probably aren't going to be used for that, but maybe. It was my idea, after all. It was my genius idea, so if they're gonna honor me, they should do it like that. I'm starting to lose it. I'm starting to run out of steam here. I think we can at least make it to 460k. That seems like a good stopping point, right? As long as we make 60k per stream, or 50k per stream, I'm satisfied. That was the initial pace. That was the initial pace that was established after the first session, so as long as we reach that each stream, I think I'll be fine. I'm pretty sure, at least, that's what it was. Is Twitch crapping out over there? Damn. Yeah, I don't know how many roses I'm gonna save for the final stream. We're definitely very far away from that, but Does the McDonald's by me have a the nice soda machine? I don't actually know. Like the soda machine with all the options in it. I want to get a really, really big soda for one of these streams. I want to get a disgustingly large soda for one of these. But I don't know the closest fast food restaurant that has like a nice soda machine. Well, yeah, that one doesn't count. Excluding that one. That's an entirely separate enterprise. That's an entirely different thing. I really did not plan this out very well, I gotta say. I really could have done more research. Or thought this through better. Which is really bothering me because I'll never do it again. This is like a one-time deal. This is like a one-time event, so I can't really improve upon it. Unfortunately. I'm guessing I'll probably do future charity streams, but not of this particular flavor. You're back for real? Well, that's good. I don't think I'm going to be going for too much longer, though, unfortunately. No, I knew it was going to take a long time, but part of the idea with the stretch goals, or like the goals, was like to do stuff that would make it take longer, to distract me from rolling up the roses and do things that would make it take longer. But I definitely didn't need that. It definitely is taking plenty of time on its own. But I guess the different goals are helping break up the monotony a little bit. I guess that's really more what they're for. They serve as a nice little change of pace. Oh yeah, no, I'm very satisfied. I'm already way more than satisfied with how much has been donated to this point. We've already gotten way more than I thought I would, so... that I'm certainly not complaining about. Did I not have the music name on this entire time? Gosh darn it. Well, I guess it's over anyway. I am gonna tell my friends. I should have never told my friend about telling my other friends. I don't think it's gonna double. That's a bit extreme. I don't think it's gonna double. Double it and give it to the next charity? No. No, don't give Bochi cancer. Don't give her secondhand smoke. No. Oh, ow. Oh, I've done a very little stretching tonight, I feel like. Ow, that hurt. What would third hand smoke even be? Bochi just gets so nervous. She gets so worked up about the second hand smoke that she starts to give off carcinogenic fumes just from her own body overheating and melting. I could see it. Okay, I think that's it for tonight. I do want to keep going, but it's probably time to stop. I would like to keep going, but I am getting tired. And I do have things I need to do tomorrow. So I think it's about time to call it. Hey, Churl, you got here just in time. You got here just in time for the stream to be over. Wow. Everybody's favorite part. I mean, assuming that you just got here and weren't, like, lurking or anything. Oh, shit. Timmy just donated $1.67. Oh, fuck off, Timmy. I mean, thanks. I mean, thanks, I guess. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. I guess I gotta add another name to the board, huh? Hold on. I guess we'll do that real quick. I don't want to forget to do this. Ah! Ow. Hold on. Give me a second here. I don't want to forget to do this. That is a, that is at least $1, so it does get a rose. It gets a nice red rose. I know. Now the count is no longer even. It's no longer a nice round number. All right, let's do this real quick. Let's do this real quick. I guess it takes a second for the bar to update. The bar hasn't updated yet. Unless that was a fake donation. Does it normally work like that? I haven't really noticed. Are there two? Oh, there actually are two. Okay. Merge selected layers. Well, thank you, Timmy. Thank you for the double whammy of making the ticker uneven and also ending in a 67. That's pretty much guaranteed at least 33 more cents. Based on previous trends, you've guaranteed at least 33 more cents to the charity. Despite being an odd number, it was at least $2. Really. Anyway. Now we can go back to the... Now we can do this again. Now we can end the stream. For reals. Ugh. Anyway. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you all had a good time. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. I'm still having fun. I'm still enjoying it. This has been a wonderful experience, honestly. I guess that's really... I guess I don't have too much to say. I guess I really don't have to... really don't have too much that I want to get out here. Yeah. I guess I'll just close it out. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you all had a good time. I really, really, really appreciate all the support. And not just the donations, you know? Even if you haven't donated, or even if you can't donate or whatever. I appreciate anybody who comes out to watch, anybody who chats, anybody who just silently hangs out. It really does mean a lot to me. I appreciate each and every one of you, sincerely. I really, really do. But yeah, I guess that's it for now. I'll be back tomorrow with more of this. So, yeah. I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.